everyone. My name is Jennifer, and today I'm going to talk about some self discovery I have made recently. For the longest time, I felt like I was hurriedly competing in three different races. I'm a 44-year-old working mom, and so I wanted to continue to grow in my career like I have always grown over the last 2 decades. Being a mother, I wanted my daughter to be good in studies, good in her extracurricular activities, sports, music, be obedient, be confident, be resilient. Phew, that's a lot for a child, right? Of course it is. And the third one, I was chasing a desperately smaller number on a weighing scale. Feels like I'm doing three jobs at once, right? And was I doing well? Not at all. I was failing in all three. And instead of feeling human, which is like how I should have felt, I started looking at other women who were growing professionally in their careers, who were, feeling like they had it all together, they had the perfect lives. And it dawned on me that, I'm so busy looking at other people that I stopped to look at what was going well in my life. Yes, I noticed that I was healthy. I had my loved ones who were healthy. I was surrounded by love and caring people that, really genuinely wanted me to succeed in every aspect of life. Yes, guessed it right. I was missing gratitude. Thankfully, it dawned on me at the right time. I met with the right people, I had the right conversations, and a few practices helped me come back in my journey. And today I want to share with you these life changing realizations that I've had over these last 2 years that helped me discover myself a little bit better and feel much more grounded. So, the first four learnings are these. One is be open to learning. Okay, there will be times when you would feel like you have learned it all, you've practiced it all, and what you have learned and been practicing should be actually working for you. But it may not be the case. For example, I was always caring about my health. I always had the right diet, the focus on health, and so on. But whatever I did earlier did not work in my 40s right now, right? I was desperately trying to lose the weight that I had gained during COVID times, and none of the activities that I knew earlier were working for me. I was regular with doing 10,000 steps a day. I went so crazy that I increased it to about 100,000 steps a week, and it was still not showing on the weighing scale. And what I realized later was that it was about not just physical, it was emotional, it was understanding my body, it was about understanding my energy, my cravings, and actually building choices that were sustainable over my lifetime, right? And I will talk more about my health journey in future videos. But it is just an example of something that has worked for you will not continue to work, and you have to pause and see what you need to unlearn and choose progress over shortcuts. The second realization was being honest about what balance really means to you. See, if I am honest with you, because I grew over my career, I wanted to have that same sustained growth in the next phase of my life as well. But at the same time, in my head, I wanted work-life balance. These are contradictions, right? I wanted to be more present at home. I wanted to help my daughter be independent. And if I was chasing opportunities that required more of my time, more of my energy, more of my attention, these wouldn't work together. But this is actually the realization that I had. That was balance is not about just saying what we want, it's also about the choices that we make to bring this balance to life. So it's like, you have a completely different picture in your head, and your expectations and actions don't match, and your actions are actually moving you in the opposite direction. So there has to be balance between the two, between what you think and what you're actually doing. The third is to accept trade-offs. Now, if I had chosen a more demanding job, I would have grown definitely more in my professional journey. But, my health would have taken a backseat. I wouldn't have had that much time with my daughter. And so sometimes what looks like not moving fast enough is not failure. Maybe life is moving in a different direction, it's nudging me to move in a direction which is different, right? Maybe right now life is asking me to pause, stop chasing every version of success at once, and understand that growth does not always have to look like you're climbing a ladder higher and higher. Sometimes growth is just about being grounded, being more intentional, and more honest what matters. So I no longer see myself as taking a step back. I see it as a choice to grow differently by using what I've already learned and sharing those learnings like I'm doing with you right now. The fourth point, letting go of perfection for the sake of choosing consistency. And finally, I had to stop choosing to do everything perfectly. Some days were messy, some days I would lose patience, I would make bad eating choices, I would miss my workout, only to feel like I was failing. But that's when I learned that I don't have to compare my bad day to somebody else's perfect reel. The answer is to show up again and again, one choice at a day, one day at a time, one step at a time. Not to prove anything to anybody else, but just to give your mind the right signals that you're trying every day and you will show up every day for yourself. So, right now, I'm focusing on the formula that has worked for me, that is the PPH formula. One is purpose. I'm actively exploring what gives me deeper meaning. It is beyond titles, it is beyond roles, it's beyond responsibilities. I want this next season of life to be about growth, about contribution, about learning, and being more aligned to who I really am. Second P is about presence, presence with my family, especially with my daughter. I want to guide her, but I want to give her space. I want to be firm when needed, but I also want to be loving and especially more mindful because she is seeing me as an example through my own choices. So that's a critical one to remember. And the third is health, not as a race to lose weight, not chasing a number, but understanding that my body is growing differently. I have to take care of its craving, its energy, its hormonal changes. And while I still care about how I look in the mirror, but it's about showing myself that I care for it consistently with focus and attention. So, if you are a working woman in your 40s trying to build a meaningful life as against a perfect one, I hope you will join me here. I will be sharing what I'm learning about my health, motherhood, work, purpose, self discipline, and becoming more intentional with your life that you already have. So this is not a journey of sharing of everything that I figured out. It is a journey of understanding the seasons of life we are in, making peace with it, having trade-off, choosing what matters with purpose, and giving ourselves grace to keep showing up consistently. See you there. Thank you very much.